new subscribers, which is awesome. And my space content always seems to do well. You guys really seem to enjoy that, space enthusiasts. So I figured tonight it was long overdue that we revisit outer space. So tonight I believe I've got 200 space facts for you. I mean, there are obviously only a finite number of facts about space, so there's bound to be some repetition, but see it as revision for those pub quizzes if there are any, but there are quite a lot of facts that I didn't recognise, so we should be all good. So I really hope you enjoy this video, and let's get started. So our facts are divided into sections of roughly, I think, 20 questions in each one. So our first section is planets and moons. Planets and moons. Venus's surface pressure is equivalent to being nearly 1 kilometre underwater on Earth. Mercury's day is longer than its year. The clouds of Venus rotate 60 times faster than the planet itself. Jupiter's Great Red Spot has been shrinking for the past century. Saturn's moon, Enceladus maybe, sprays water into space through tiger stripe vents. Uranus spins on its side, possibly due to a giant impact. Neptune radiates more heat than it gets from the sun. Titan, which is Saturn's moon, has lakes and rivers of methane and ethane. Is that Io or Lo? I think it's Io, which is Jupiter's moon, is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. Mars has the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, 3 times taller than Mount Everest. Pluto has a heart-shaped glacier made of nitrogen ice. Europa's ice crust may hide more liquid water than all of Earth's oceans combined. Triton, which is Neptune's moon, orbits in the opposite direction to Neptune's rotation. Venus's surface is hot enough to melt lead, despite being farther from the sun than Mercury. Ceres, the largest asteroid, may have a subsurface ocean. Phobos, which is a moon of Mars, is spiraling toward the planet and will eventually break apart. Ganymede has its own magnetic field, unique among moons. Saturn's rings are less than 1 kilometre thick in most places. Uranus has faint rings discovered in 1977 by observing a star's light flicker. And finally, for this section, Neptune's winds can exceed 2,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound. Okay, our next section is stars and stellar phenomena. Some stars are so dense that a teaspoon of their matter would weigh billions of tons. Betelgeuse is so large. I was going to say Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is so large that if it replaced our sun, it would extend beyond Jupiter. There are stars that spin hundreds of times per second. These are called pulsars. Wolf-Rayet stars blow off mass at incredible speeds, enriching space with heavy elements. Blue giant stars burn hotter, but live far shorter lives than red stars. A neutron star's crust is the strongest material known, 10 billion times stronger than steel. Magnetars have magnetic fields trillions of times stronger than Earth's. Some binary stars systems swap mass between each other. Stars can be born in the shock waves of supernova. The oldest known star is over 13 billion years old. White dwarfs cool so slowly they could take longer than the age of the universe to fade. The Sun loses about 4 million tons of mass every second via radiation. There are rogue stars moving at speeds exceeding 1,000 kilometers a second. Brown dwarfs, or failed stars, glow faintly in infrared but never ignite fusion. Some stars can pulse in size and brightness over centuries. Stars near the Milky Way's black hole orbit it in just a few years. Certain stars have planets in polar orbits rather than around the equator. Stars can end as black holes, neutron stars, or just fade as white dwarfs. Some stars explode multiple times, called pulsational pair instability supernovae. And hypervelocity stars can be ejected from galaxies entirely. Our next section is black holes and exotic objects. Black holes can spin at nearly the speed of light. Supermassive black holes can have masses billions of times that of the Sun. The closest known black hole to Earth is only about 1,500 light years away. The event horizon is not a physical surface, but a boundary where escape velocity equals light speed. A black hole's gravity can redshift light so much that it becomes invisible. Some black holes burp after feeding on matter. The Milky Way's central black hole has flared up in brightness in the past. Intermediate mass black holes are harder to detect than stellar or supermassive ones. Gravitational lensing from black holes can create multiple images of the same object. Black holes may merge, producing gravitational waves detected on Earth. Spaghettification is the extreme stretching of objects near a black hole. Spaghettification. Some black holes could have formed in the early universe without stars. Time passes slower near a black hole compared to far away. I always get this pronunciation wrong. Some quasars, 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 maybe, are powered by rapidly feeding black holes. Micro black holes, if they exist, could be smaller than an atom. Supermassive black holes can regulate galaxy growth. The Milky Way's black hole, Sagittarius A star, is relatively quiet compared to others. And final question for this section, there may be wandering black holes without a host galaxy. Moving on now to galaxies and cosmic structures. The Andromeda Galaxy is on a collision course with the Milky Way. Some galaxies have supermassive black holes in both the centers and past mergers. Elliptical galaxies can contain trillions of stars. Spiral arms are regions of star formation, not fixed structures. The Milky Way has a bar-shaped core of stars. There are galaxies with almost no dark matter. Some galaxies are made mostly of dark matter with few visible stars. Starburst galaxies produce stars at thousands of times the Milky Way's rate. There are galaxies that shoot jets of plasma thousands of light years long. Colliding galaxies can trigger waves of new star formation. Some dwarf galaxies orbit the Milky Way like satellites. Ultra-diffuse galaxies can be as large as the Milky Way, but with far fewer stars. The largest known galaxy spans over 16 million light-years. Ring galaxies are shaped by collisions. Some galaxies have been found with stars moving in opposite directions in the same disk. Lenticular galaxies are a cross between elliptical and spiral shapes. Some galaxies have no clear shape at all. These are called irregular galaxies. Dark matter halos extend far beyond the visible edges of galaxies. The observable universe contains more galaxies than there are grains of sand on Earth. That's insane. And galaxies can cannibalize smaller ones. Moving on now to Cosmology and Universe. Cosmology and Universe. The cosmic microwave background is the oldest light we can see, 13.8 billion years old. Space is expanding and the rate is accelerating. Dark energy makes up about 68% of the universe. Dark matter makes up about 27%. Normal matter is only 5%. Some regions of space are nearly empty. These are called cosmic voids. The Great Attractor is pulling galaxies toward it over hundreds of millions of light years. The Laniakea supercluster is our galaxy's cosmic address. There may be more habitable planets than stars. The universe has no known center. axis of evil is a strange alignment in the cosmic microwave background. Time itself began with the Big Bang. There are hypothetical universes with different physical constants. The Hubble Deep Field shows thousands of galaxies in a tiny patch of sky. There are cold spots in the universe that defy easy explanation. Inflation theory suggests the universe expanded faster than light right after the Big Bang. There could be a multiverse of different universes. Some cosmic structures are larger than should be possible. The cosmic web connects galaxies across the universe. And fact number 100 is gravity waves from the early universe may still ripple through space. Moving on now to space travel and exploration. The Voyager 1 spacecraft is over 24 billion kilometers from Earth and still sending data. Spacecraft slow down in the outer solar system due to the sun's weaker gravity, but solar wind pressure also drops. The Apollo astronauts' footprints on the moon could last millions of years because there's no wind or rain. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth at about 3.8 centimeters per year. The International Space Station travels at 7.66 kilometers a second, orbiting Earth every 90 minutes. Astronauts on the ISS see 16 sunrises and sunsets each Earth day. Long-term space flight can change an astronaut's heart shape. It becomes more spherical. Astronauts can grow up to 5 centimeters taller in microgravity due to spinal decompression. I need that, my posture is terrible. Space smells. Astronauts describe it as seared steak or welding fumes. In microgravity, tears don't fall. They form floating blobs in your eyes. Spare toilets use airflow instead of water to move waste. I know, not spare toilets, space toilets. Use airflow instead of water to move waste. The Apollo 12 astronauts visited a robotic probe, Surveyor 3, that had been on the moon for over 12 years. Mars rovers drive autonomously for short stretches to avoid hazards. The James Webb Space Telescope orbits a point in space rather than Earth. Soviet cosmonauts carried shotguns on space missions in case of landing in Siberian wilderness. Spacewalk suits have a small water tank for astronaut drinking needs. The first living creature in orbit was Laika the dog, launched by the USSR in 1957. A space pen wasn't NASA's invention. It was developed privately and sold to both NASA and the USSR. Spacesuits are custom-tailored and take years to make. Spacecraft must be sterilized before visiting other worlds to avoid contaminating them with Earth microbes. Next section is weird space phenomena these phenomena. Cosmic rays can damage astronauts' DNA and cause flashes of light in their vision. Some meteorites on Earth are older than the solar system itself. The Kessler syndrome describes a chain reaction of orbiting debris collisions that could make some space travel hazardous. In certain orbits, satellites can get stuck due to gravitational balancing points. Zombie stars. Zombie stars are white dwarfs that explode after stealing mass from a companion. Light can be bent into a ring, an Einstein ring, by massive objects. Rogue planets wander interstellar space without a star. Some pulsars emit radio waves that turn off and on mysteriously. There are objects called blazars that are quasars pointed almost directly at Earth. Space can warp time itself, known as gravitational time dilation. Oumuamua, I think that is. The first known interstellar object in our solar system had an unusual elongated shape. The interstellar object Borisov resembled a typical comet, but came from another star. Gamma ray bursts can release more energy in seconds than the sun will in its lifetime. Some regions of the moon are magnetized for reasons still not fully understood. The WOW signal was a mysterious 1977 radio signal from space, never repeated. Interplanetary dust fills space and reflects sunlight, creating the zodiacal light. Cold welding in space can fuse two metal pieces together without heat. In zero gravity, flames form spheres instead of teardrops. There's a giant cloud of alcohol in space, large enough to make 400 trillion pints of beer. Space can act as a natural magnifying glass through gravitational lensing. On to the next section now, rare objects and oddities. Carbon-rich exoplanets could theoretically have diamond crusts. Hot Jupiters are gas giants that orbit closer to their star than Mercury does to the Sun. Some planets orbit two stars. Circumbinary planets, like in Star Wars' Tatooine. There are planets that orbit neutron stars, surviving their parent star's explosion. Some moons may have subsurface oceans heated by tidal forces instead of sunlight. Certain asteroids have their own tiny moons. Trojan asteroids share an orbit with a planet, staying in stable positions. There are contact binary asteroids that are two objects touching each other. Some exoplanets rain molten glass sideways due to extreme winds. On a planet called HD 189733b, temperatures reach 1000 degrees Celsius and winds hit 7,000 kilometers an hour. There's an exoplanet made mostly of water, but under extreme pressure and heat. Some pulsars shoot matter jets nearly at light speed. There are planets so close to their star that a year lasts only a few hours. Some stars have metal content so low they're almost pure hydrogen and helium. Super-Earths are rocky planets larger than Earth, but smaller than Neptune. There are rogue ice worlds in interstellar space with no sunlight at all. Some moons may be geologically younger than their planets. Certain exoplanets have backwards orbits compared to their star's rotation. Planet WASP 12b is being eaten away by its star. And Buffy planets are gas giants so low density they're lighter than water. Our penultimate section now is extreme numbers and measurements. The fastest object ever made by humans is the Parker Solar Probe, moving over 586,000 kilometers an hour. A light year is about 9.46 trillion kilometers. The Milky Way is approximately 100,000 light years across. The largest known star, UY Scuti, is over 1,700 times the Sun's diameter. The hottest known exoplanet, Kelt 9b, reaches over 4,300 degrees Celsius. The coldest known place in the universe is the Boomerang Nebula. The Boomerang Nebula at minus 272 degrees Celsius. Neutron stars can spin up to 716 times per second. The Sun accounts for 99.86% of the solar system's mass. The largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, is about the size of France. Light takes about 8 minutes to travel from the Sun to the Earth. Some galaxy clusters are hundreds of millions of light years across. The fastest winds in the solar system blow on Neptune. The heaviest element naturally found in space is uranium. The Moon is about a sixth of Earth's gravity. The ISS weighs about 420,000 kilograms. The Great Red Spot is at least 350 years old. Saturn's density is low enough it would float in water, if you had a giant ocean, that is. The observable universe is about 93 billion light years across. The Milky Way rotates once every 225 to 250 million years. And some quasars shine 1,000 times brighter than the Milky Way. And our final 20 facts are all about future possibilities and concepts. Space elevators could theoretically connect Earth to orbit using ultra-strong materials. Asteroid mining could provide more metals than all known reserves on Earth. Solar sails can propel spacecraft using only sunlight. Cryosleep for space travel is being studied using hibernation-like States. Terraforming Mars would take centuries to millennia. Floating cloud cities could be possible in Venus's upper atmosphere. Interstellar probes could use gravitational assists from multiple stars. Artificial magnetic fields could protect Mars colonies from solar radiation. The moon could be a refueling station for deep space missions. Nuclear-powered rockets could cut travel time to Mars in half. 3D printing in space could build habitats using local materials. The Oort cloud may be a future source of water for deep space travel. Space tethers could launch payloads without rockets. Colonies on asteroids could use rotation to create artificial gravity. Fusion propulsion could allow travel to nearby stars in decades instead of centuries. Giant telescopes on the moon could observe space without atmospheric distortion. Robots could explore interstellar space long before humans. Genetic engineering could be used to adapt humans for other worlds. I feel like these aren't necessarily facts, these are just like, oh yeah, this could happen technically. Self-replicating probes could map the entire galaxy in a few million years. And finally, if the sun were to disappear suddenly, Earth would keep orbiting its last position for 8 minutes before flying into space, because that's how long it takes gravity's news to reach us. And that is that. That was 200 facts about outer space. You know, whenever I see or hear the phrase interstellar, I'm always brought back to what most of you know is my favourite movie, so it seems fitting that that is the poster behind me. But yeah, that is going to do it for tonight's video. Everybody, I hope you learned something new, and if not, you got relaxed and brushed up on your space knowledge as well. So if you did enjoy this video, then please do give it a like and subscribe if you're new. And until the next video,